A bright, ordinary daytime drive turns into chaos when a dirty cop stomps up to a black woman's window and drags her out without a single valid reason. Sunlight hits the pavement as passing cars slow, drivers lifting their phones to record the unfolding injustice. The officer slams her against the hood, barking orders she already followed. But he doesn't realize he's seconds away from destroying his own career, because the quiet man in the passenger seat is the police chief, watching every move. Real justice moments like this remind us that truth always rises in broad daylight. Drop your city or country in the comments. I want to see how far this message travels. And if you stand for justice, like and subscribe to Better Tomorrow. Maya Johnson and her husband, Daniel Cross, are driving home on a warm, bright afternoon. The sun is high, the road is clear, and their conversation is light, small jokes, weekend plans, nothing unusual. Daniel, dressed casually in a plain polo and jeans, looks nothing like the police chief he is. Today, he's just a husband enjoying a peaceful ride with his wife. But peace ends the moment flashing red and blue lights appear behind them. Maya checks her speed, normal. Checks her tags, updated. Checks the mirrors, nothing wrong. Still, she signals and pulls over smoothly, hands already resting clearly on the steering wheel. She has done this before. She knows how to stay calm. Officer Randall Pike steps out of his cruiser with a swagger that feels wrong even from a distance. Daylight shines straight across his sunglasses as he approaches with a hostile, heavy stride. He doesn't greet Maya. He doesn't explain the stop. He just bangs his knuckles on her window and snaps, "License." Now. Maya complies instantly, voice steady. Daniel watches silently, choosing not to intervene. He wants to see the officer's true behavior, who he is when he believes no one is watching. But Pike isn't interested in normal procedure. He interrupts Maya mid-sentence, accusing her of suspicious movement and lane drifting, claims that are completely false. His tone is sharp, personal, almost hungry for control. When he orders Maya out of the car for a search, Daniel's calm expression shifts. Because daylight just exposed something much darker. Maya steps out of the car slowly, sunlight washing over her as she raises her hands exactly how Pike demands. There's no hesitation. No attitude. No resistance. But Pike behaves like she's a threat he's desperate to control. He grabs her arm too firmly, spinning her toward the front of the car. Feet apart. Hands on the hood. "Don't make this difficult," he barks. Maya does everything he says. She even whispers, "I'm cooperating," but Pike doesn't care. He pushes her shoulder harder than necessary, pretending she's resisting when she isn't. Cars passing by begin slowing down. People roll down windows. A few already have their phones out, recording. Inside the car, Daniel watches with a tightening jaw. His hands rest calmly on his knees, but his eyes never leave Pike. He measures every move, every violation, every lie. Then Pike crosses a line. He starts a rough, invasive pat down, pressing into her side hard enough to make Maya flinch. She gasps quietly, and he instantly shouts, "Stop resisting." That's when Daniel opens his door. He steps out slowly, sunlight hitting his face as he speaks in a calm, controlled tone. "Officer." "That's enough." Pike spins around, furious. "Get back in the car. Now." Daniel doesn't move. And the real fight begins. Pike storms toward Daniel, boots scraping across the sunlit pavement. His hand drops straight to his holster, fingers brushing the gun like he's itching for a reason. The bystanders gasp. Cameras zoom in. You can feel the tension thick in the afternoon heat. "I said get back in the car." Pike shouts, voice cracking with fake authority. Daniel stands completely still. No fear. No flinch. Just a slow breath as he says, "Officer, you're out of line." Pike steps closer, chest puffed out, trying to tower over him. "Sir, you're interfering with the lawful." Daniel cuts him off. What's lawful about dragging a woman out of her car without cause? About yelling resisting when she hasn't even moved? About performing a search you can't legally justify? Pike's jaw twitches. She matched the description. He lies instantly. What description? Daniel asks. Pike hesitates. He doesn't have one. Daniel takes one more step forward, calm but powerful. Enough. Step back from my wife. Pike scoffs. Your wife? Sir, I don't care who you think you are. Daniel finally reaches into his pocket. The sunlight catches a badge. He holds it up, slow, deliberate, letting Pike read every engraved letter. Pike's face drains of color. Chief. Chief Cross, he stammers. His hand snaps away from his holster. Sir, I didn't realize, she seemed, I thought. Daniel's voice drops, firm and cold. It shouldn't matter who she's married to. One of the witnesses murmurs, oh, it's over for him. A second patrol car pulls up. Two officers jump out, confused, then freeze when they see the badge. Chief Cross, one blurts out. Daniel nods toward Pike. Officer Pike detained my wife illegally. Excessive force. No probable cause. Both officers stare at Pike in disbelief. Maya, still shaken, turns her head and looks directly at Pike. Her voice is soft but devastating. You treated me like I didn't matter. Pike swallows hard. Because now he knows, he's not walking away from this. The sun beats down as silence floods the scene. Pike stands frozen, surrounded by witnesses, officers, and the man whose wife he just assaulted. His throat bobs as he tries to swallow the panic rising fast. Daniel doesn't yell. He doesn't threaten. He simply says, Officer Pike, did you activate your body cam during this stop? Pike blinks fast. Yes, sir. I always do. Department policy. Daniel nods slowly. Good. Then everything you did today is recorded. Pike's face collapses. His knees almost give out. One of the arriving officers taps his earpiece. Chief, the footage is streaming to the unit system right now. Daniel gestures. Play it. The officer holds up a tablet. The screen lights up, crisp daylight video of Pike walking toward the car with aggression, yanking Maya out without cause, pushing her, shouting stop resisting when she clearly isn't. People lean in. Someone whispers, he's done. Pike shakes his head rapidly, sweating. Chief, please. I misread the situation. She looked nervous. I thought she had something. Maya turns toward him, her voice steady but trembling with hurt. I was nervous because of officers like you. Those words hit harder than any punishment. Daniel steps closer. Officer Pike, you violated protocol, abused your authority, and endangered a civilian. You didn't make a mistake, you made choices. Pike's eyes dart around desperately. Sir, I have a family, I can't lose my job. Please, Chief, give me another chance. Daniel's expression doesn't change. You should have thought about your family before you put mine in danger. The backup officers move in, standing behind Pike. Not hostile, but ready. Daniel gives one clear, final order. Officer Pike, you are suspended immediately pending full misconduct review. Hand over your weapon and badge. Gasps ripple through the watching crowd as Pike's gun and badge are removed. The same power he abused, stripped away in broad daylight. His hands shake uncontrollably. Maya watches, breathing slowly, finally realizing the moment the power shifted, not because of rank, but because the truth stepped into the light. You said. The scene transforms the moment Pike's badge is taken. What began as a routine stop is now a full-scale public reckoning under the afternoon sun. Cars have pulled over. People stand on sidewalks. More phones are recording. It's no longer just a traffic stop, it's evidence. Two officers position themselves beside Pike, not rough, but firm. Pike's breathing quickens as humiliation settles into his bones. He looks everywhere except at Maya. Daniel steps toward his wife. Are you hurt? Maya shakes her head, but her voice cracks. I'm okay. I was just scared. One of the bystanders, a woman holding a phone, calls out, "We saw everything, Chief." She didn't do anything. Another adds, "He was out of control from the start." Daniel nods appreciatively but keeps his focus on Maya. "Thank you. All of you." He turns to the officers. "Gather every witness statement. Nobody leaves unless they want to. And make sure their videos are saved and logged." The officers move fast, professional, restoring order the way Pike should have. Then the captain arrives, uniform crisp, face flushed red from the heat and embarrassment. "Chief Cross. I came as soon as I heard." Daniel steps aside so the captain can see Pike, standing pale, disarmed, stripped of authority. The captain's jaw tenses. "Officer Pike, what have you done?" Pike starts sobbing. The captain shakes his head in disbelief. "We trained you better than this." Daniel speaks firmly, loud enough for the crowd to hear. "This department serves the community. Not our egos. Not our tempers. Officer Pike betrayed that duty today." A ripple of agreement moves through the crowd. Daniel turns to the captain. "He's to be transported for internal review. And I'm initiating an immediate ethics sweep on traffic stop procedures." The captain nods. "Understood, sir." The officers move in. This time, Pike doesn't resist. He doesn't argue. He doesn't shout. He simply lowers his head as they guide him toward the patrol car, the same car he arrived in moments earlier with arrogance. A woman in the crowd mutters, "Karma in daylight." Maya watches Pike being placed in the back seat. For the first time since the ordeal began, her shoulders lower. She exhales deeply, reclaiming a piece of the dignity he tried to take. Daniel places a hand gently on her back. "It's over," he says softly. "No," Maya replies quietly, "it's just beginning, for everyone who needed to see this." Back home, Maya sinks into the couch, sunlight streaming through the window, Daniel beside her, holding her hand. The adrenaline fades, replaced by quiet relief. "I'm okay," she whispers. "Because you were there." Daniel shakes his head gently. "No. You're okay because you stayed strong. Today wasn't about me, it was about making sure no one else faces what you did." The next morning, Daniel formally suspends Pike, launches a full misconduct investigation, and implements stricter traffic stop accountability protocols across the department. Maya decides to share her experience publicly, not to shame, but to protect others. Videos of the traffic stop and Pike's reaction go viral, sparking outrage and change. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it arrives calm, firm, and undeniable. Today, in broad daylight, it found its mark.